Hi, so we're working on, I think we'll do 2 today, so I can get on with other things, and that'd be good. Gonna start with 14 as always. I'm afraid, well, maybe we won't run out, who knows. I usually have some left over. There's been a few diamond paintings. Oh, hang on a minute while I turn off the fan. There, that's better. So there's been a few diamond paintings where I have actually run out with the color, but because most diamond paintings, including these rhinestone paintings, there's always a color that's very similar, and if not in the kit I'm working on, certainly somewhere in my collection of leftovers. So, like, once you've done your first diamond painting, you've got enough leftovers to cover any mishaps, and by the time you've done your 5th one, you've got enough to plaster the world in rhinestones and drills. So don't worry about that. They well, it depends. Most of the manufacturers are very generous with the amount of drills or rhinestones that are in a kit. And I understand, and I've never availed myself of it before, I've had no need to, that there are companies that will sell you extras. Like if you're working on, like there's so many great diamond painters out there, and they might be working on something they've designed themselves, and they're doing it like a cross stitch, so they might order DMC numbers, which, now I used to embroider a lot, and the embroidery threads that I would use had a DMC number. It's the color number. So I've got wax stuck to that, I can't get it off. So you can order whatever color you want. I think there's multi-page DMC charts because there are so many colors. But you can always order that way, although I've never had a need to, and I doubt that if I ever do a custom diamond painting that I've designed myself, I would probably just use what I have left over. I've gone through so many diamond paintings. You can look at my years in review for 2023 and 2022. I think those are the only two. And you can see all the diamond paintings I have done. I haven't left any out. No, I haven't. So, yeah, I've done quite a few. I should actually count them, but it doesn't really matter. It's not a competition. I'm certainly not competing with myself. I just do what I do, and I'm not an expert. I am certainly not a tutorial channel. I say that all the time. I'm just talking and doing diamond paintings and, you know, having a nice time. I like talking to you. I hope you like listening to me, and when I put on some classical music, I hope that you enjoy that too. I don't know if young people, listen to classical music anymore. I'm sure that if they're trained, they do. You know, I went to the conservatory when I was a child, but I don't know if, I don't know. I'm not trying to make them as a whole different species. They're just young people, that's all. yeah, I'm glad I grew up in the time I did and learned what I did. Um, I'm glad that I had a grandmother that would teach me all kinds of things that are really valuable and have been throughout my life. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm sure that young people have grandmas and great grandmas and mamas that are teaching them too. So, you know, that's a really good thing, because that knowledge that they give us really comes important sometimes, really comes in handy too. So listen to your grandmas and your mamas and your aunts and even your uncles and brothers and fathers. They all have a different kind of knowledge that is important. My mouth is really foamy today. I don't know why, but I'm going to have a drink of coffee. And of course, I'm drinking decaffeinated coffee. I really can't tell. Like, I really hate that I have to drink decaffeinated coffee. And I don't know why, because I really can't tell the difference in taste. It's just as strong as regular coffee. I'm not a connoisseur. I just drink coffee because I like coffee. And I was married at 18 and I never drank coffee probably until I was like 21. Never really liked the taste of it. My family were tea drinkers. And you start off life, and I remember the first cups of tea we had. It was always in a proper teacup with a saucer. And for us kids, it would be like more milk and sugar than tea. But that's okay. I've always found it very nice to have a cup of tea, and I still like it milky. Well, not green tea. I don't put anything into green tea. And if you're ever experimenting with teas and want to try different flavors, my favorite tea is Earl Grey. Some people don't like it because it has a flowery taste, and the flowery taste is bergamot, and I don't mind it at all. I think it's a great tea. The one tea that I did try that I absolutely did not like, and I think I bought like, I don't know how many ounces of it back in the day, and it was called Lapsang Souchong. Let me say that again because I think my tongue tripped over my lips. Lapsang Souchong. Lapsang Souchong, which is a smoked tea. And oh my God, if you like really strong tea, and by that I mean if you like chewing on tea bags, that is the perfect tea for you. But if you ever do try it, and like if you go to a loose leaf shop and you want to try some, do not buy a lot. It is powerfully strong. It's killer strong. I mean, it is killer strong. I'm just trying to get one of those silver ones off. It's, yeah, it's powerful. Very, very powerful. But if that's the kind of tea you like, definitely try it. I will never, even hear it, the words of it makes me kind of, how would I say it, kind of, it's hard to get that flavor out of your mouth, but if you like smoked tea, that is definitely the tea. If you like chewing on tea bags, that is definitely the tea. And to each his own, right? Y'all should have the tea you like. But as far as coffee go, I like it strong. I do like lots of milk in it. although today I'm not having a lot of milk in it. I'm having just a splash of milk, and that's only because I've got to go to the store and buy milk. So I didn't want to use up the little bit that I had. My goodness, 1 liter of milk at the corner store, 2 liters, like the 2-liter cartons, is $6. Or was $6 the last time I bought it, which was like 3 weeks ago. I don't know what the price is now. I'm sure that, I'm hoping it stayed the same, but I don't know. But it's a lot more expensive than going to the grocery store. And the funny thing is, it used to be that like these convenience stores, and mine is a 7-Eleven, but when I was growing up we had Max Milk and some private little ones, but the milk was always cheaper than the grocery store, and I think it's because everything else was so expensive. But if you just needed milk, then you would run into the convenience store and buy the milk, and then maybe buy other more expensive things when you were there. So it was like, I guess what they would call a loss leader, but not anymore. Everything is just expensive. Like, I don't know. That's the world we live in. And things were like this in the late 70s too. All of a sudden, prices went through the roof. Houses tripled in price. I know that because we bought our first house for $32,000. We sold it when we paid off the mortgage 9 years later. And we sold it for just over $80,000, so almost tripled in price. And the price of meat went through the roof, and people were eating horse meat. People had to put locking gas caps on their car because people were stealing gas because the price had gone through the roof. It was a crazy time, just like now. So, you know, it's not something we haven't been through before, that's for sure. We were young, we didn't really care. You know, we were very lucky when we bought our first house, because the bank manager was saying, oh, well, you know, if you go with a 6-month mortgage, you'll save this much in interest. And the interest rate was 9 3/4. But my husband, smarty pants that he was, said, you know what, anything under 10% is good, so we're going to go with the 5-year. And if we had gone with the 6-month mortgage, we would have lost our house like so many other people did, because if we had to renew at 6 months, we would have been renewing for just over 20%. So we really lucked out there. And I mean lucked out because, you know, you can only work with the facts you have at hand. Nobody can see into the future and know what's going to happen. So we really lucked out. Things haven't been so lucky lately, but I mean, my husband's been gone for 25 years. I haven't had anyone else in my life, and you know, it's always a struggle for a single person, but that struggle is good. We all need to, oh, no, we don't all need, but I need something to struggle against, I guess. I think it's what was meant for me, and so be it. I'm still alive, and hopefully I'll stay this way for a long time. Who knows though, right? I'm trying my best. I hope you guys, and I hope I welcomed you. I don't know if I did. I really hope I did, but just in case I didn't, welcome and thank you for stopping by and coming to see me. I really do appreciate it. I'm working on Ooh, I think they're humpback whales. Yeah, there's a blue whale, humpback, I don't know. It's definitely a whale, and maybe it's stylized and I can't tell, but I think it's, my first instinct was humpback, but I don't really see ridges, and it's a very small fin there. Let's call it a blue whale and make it more exciting than it is. How about that? Blue whales, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are the largest on the planet. And I've only seen them on TV. But my goodness gracious, they are huge and not like long, like really. I think that if I was in a boat, I would be very frightened if I saw one, because, I mean, I'm sure they could do a lot of damage with just the flick of a tail, which is, I'm not really a water person. My hand has been shaking. I don't know why. It's been doing it since before my heart attack, and it's only my right hand, never my left. I'm left-handed. I noticed it when I tried to pick up something, there, it's going to do it again, something small between my thumb and my pointy finger, and every now and then it will do it. I'm sure that it's nothing to really worry about. At least well, I say that. I'm trying not to worry about it, but yes, I do worry about it. I worry about it very much. I don't know what it means. I've mentioned it to my doctor, but they didn't seem concerned about it. And maybe because I didn't seem concerned about it, I don't know. Anyway, I've got to make an appointment with my doctor soon because I haven't seen her since my operation. It's been 5 months, I think. February to July. February 10th to July. I think today's the 9th, so I think it's been 5 months. February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, it's been 5 months, so I really should go and see her. I tried, well, my son was taking care of me when I first got out of the hospital. And it says in the book, you get this book about how to take care of yourself after heart surgery. And it said to see your family doctor 1 week after release from the hospital. But I was very weak, but my son insisted that we go. And so I got ready and we got in the car and went to the doctor's office, and they have like, they're on the 3rd floor. There's an elevator. So I managed to get out of the car, walk across the parking lot, get into the building. The elevator wasn't there, and I had an absolute panic attack, and I couldn't breathe, and there was all kinds of doctors and nurses in the building because it's the university clinic. Well, I have a doctor. I don't go to a clinic, but it's I don't know what other word to use for it anyway. And they all came down, and my blood pressure was okay, and my heart rate was okay, and everything was okay except me. I was having an absolute panic attack, and my son called an ambulance, and I just wanted to go home, and the ambulance would take me home, and it was horrible. But I didn't see my doctor, and yeah, so I do have to make an appointment to see my doctor and maybe talk about this shaking that is going on. But you know what, it is what it is. It's not going to affect me any more than I'll let it affect me, and I guess that's what we all do, right? We can panic about something, and a panic attack is a terrible thing. When you get a panic attack, and I don't know if you guys ever had a panic attack, but it is absolutely paralyzing. But then you get over it, think about how silly you were to have a panic attack, but there's nothing you can do to control it. You can control your breathing, you can have people all around you telling you to just try to be calm and breathe, but you can't. It's absolutely devastating. And I don't know why it happened on that day. Of course, I had one after my husband passed, and I thought I was having a heart attack and dying. And I think my doctor sent some lorazepam to the house, and I took one, and it made the world so much better, and all the issues just melted away. And I never ever took another one, ever, because I thought, no, that is not the way to live your life. I was very worried that it could be so easy to become addicted to something like that. So I never took another one, and I know when I'm having a panic attack, I'm not having a heart attack, and I will get through it. But I know that after the fact. And when it's happening to you, it's just terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm just going on and on with this organ recital. Oh, how bad am I? Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go see the doctor and make sure everything is okay. And I guess, you know, once a year we should anyway. And I often wonder if I screwed up my own heart, because years ago my blood pressure was high. My doctor put me on a statin drug, and it really screwed up my muscles. I couldn't work. It hurt so bad. I asked her to please, or was it the cholesterol? I can't remember. I think it might have been cholesterol. I asked her to try to just let me do it myself and see if I can fix it. And I'm wondering if I had stayed on that medication, if I would have had a heart attack. But again, second guessing. We can only go with the facts we have at the time. So yeah, let's stop talking about my illnesses. It's really hot here, like abnormally hot. But that's why I had the fan running. It's in a 2-story house, and I'm probably going to be moving to a rental apartment because I don't think I can afford this anymore. Plus I'm paying somebody to take care of the lawns because I can't do that anymore. But I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. So anyway, in a 2-story house, and this one is very old. And I guess back in the day, it had some gravity heat. You know, heat rises, so they put a grid in the floor. Well, back when I was, the first house I ever lived in with my family, we had a little coal stove in the hallway and pipes that went upstairs to warm it. But that's for the heat. For cooling, there is nothing you can do except insulate the heck out of it. And the upstairs of this house has been renovated, and more insulation has been put in, so it's not as bad as it was before. But it's still, you just coming up the stairs, you can feel the change in the heat. So even though I've never lived in an apartment before, well, for a little while when I was first married until we bought our house. I'm kind of scared of it, but I know that millions and millions and millions of people do it all the time and forever, and they're quite happy. So I thought about a condo too, but I don't think I can afford a condo because I would have a mortgage probably, and then there's condo fees on top of that, and you still have to pay property tax, of course. So I don't think that would work. But I'm kind of looking forward to an apartment and not having to worry about lawns and trees and flowers and I don't know why I'm not picking this up and all those kind of things. But I'm getting older, and I've watched some videos on you know, whether you should own or rent and things like that. And most of them are for couples, and couples are different because their whole financial thing is different, even if neither are working, and even if they don't have a dime in the bank. There's two of them, they're getting more pension than I am. So and I hate it when, you know, somebody comes on and talks about how hard their life is, but turns out they worked at Microsoft all their life and they're doing just fine. I don't like when people try to be something they're not just to get views, and it makes it hard to get accurate information about what it's really like to do this or do that, when you know that they're not playing with the same rules that you have to play with. Boy, I'm using up a lot of blues here. I hope these whale guys show up really nice, because it's a mama and a baby, and I really want them to look spectacular. They should have put in a, well, I don't know, I'm second guessing, and I shouldn't do that. I know what the other, there's lots and lots of blues in this kit, so we'll see. Like I said, I only paid $8.99 for it, so I sure am talking a lot, aren't I? And I want to do the last two today. So there's this one, and I want to call this an angel fish, but it could be anything. I don't know. Let's call it an angel fish. That's such a nice name for a fishy. But like I was saying, I am not a water person. I don't, you know, if it's on a lake or something, that's fine. But no, I don't want to be out in the middle of the ocean. And my dad was a sailor, and so was my brother. And even my grandmother, during World War I or something, was a cook on a boat. There's lots of water in my family, and I just do not like it at all. So that's me. I got some red here for this little starfish. Apparently the theme is through this whole thing that starfish are red. And I guess traditionally they are, aren't they? Watching the nature shows, they're not always red. And they're not always just five-legged either. I've seen this one called a basket star. Oh my God, it is so beautiful, but it's like tiny branches of a tree, and they're just coming out everywhere, and it's so beautiful. And I admit there's some very beautiful things under the water, and I wonder why we don't do more exploration underwater than out in space. But there's some beautiful things down there. There's some really ugly ones too. But I guess that depends on how you look at things, right? Like, there are things that would give me nightmares, and I'm sure there's things that I might think are beautiful that would give other people nightmares. But I'm not going down there anyway. Don't want to, don't have to. Not going to. So that's number one. And we'll go on to number two, which is a blue. Yeah, and it's part of the whale. So that's a light turquoise. So I don't know if you guys like the way I do this or not, but at the end of these things, I usually have to go back in and add all the numbers that I've missed, and that's okay. I don't mind. I'd rather do that than have holes in it, that's for sure. I think I always show it though when I go back and add some in. Okay, so here's some twos that are right up against those ones that I was worried might. I don't know, what does that look like to you guys? Oh, well, we shall see. Because this one should be a lot darker than this. I hope it looks that way. It does to me, but I don't know if it does to you. We'll see when it's all done. And maybe I won't do two today. Maybe I'll just do this one today. And then I'll do the next one after this and try to get them up faster than I've been doing it. But I got a lot on my mind, and I've been looking at apartments, and my son's supposed to be coming to stay with me for a little while, mid-month, so it'll be great to see him. That was weird. And then we've got a lot of things to talk about. Got a lot of things to get rid of that I don't want to get rid of, but I know that I have to get rid of. I'm not a hoarder or anything, but it comes down to, you know, you're going to be living in a smaller space. You're not going to have a basement. Now, in this house, I have only an entry closet, and I don't have any other closets. There's no closets in the bedrooms at all. So I'm thinking it would be kind of nice to have closets, so instead of folding my clothes, I can hang them up. I guess I don't need that anymore. I'll just put it there. Yeah. So, and I would like a 2-bedroom apartment, except they're very expensive. But it looks like the real estate market is dropping off, which means I'll get less for my house, but then I might pay less too for an apartment, which would be awesome. But I haven't even listed this. My realtor calls me all the time, and I just don't even answer the phone. I told him, when I'm ready, I'll call you. And I don't want, like, I find it very stressful. Even talking about it now, I find it very stressful to think about things that I have to do, and then having to talk to people about it. I can talk to you guys about it because basically I'm talking to this blue whale and I can't see you. But it's sort of like having a open conversation out loud with myself, and that's good. That's really cathartic. My mouth is not working very well today. It feels foamy and dry, and I'm drinking coffee and I should be drinking water, but that's okay. Well, it's okay for me. Like, we're just going to do what we do. But I will drink some water when I finish this little one. And if I talk all the way through this, it's going to be a very long video, and I know that you guys probably don't like when I talk all the way through this, but what can I do? And I really don't like I'm used to it now because I hear it all the time. I do not like the sound of my voice, so when I'm uploading these videos, it's very, well, not as bad as it was when I first started doing it. I absolutely could not stand the sound of my voice. I sounded like Mickey Mouse. Very high pitched and that, and then I also think I speak too slowly, because there's people, you know, you turn on their channels and you have to jump because they're so, and there's another one of those. I'm going to see if I can bring you down here and show you that right, where is it? Right there. Yes, right there. This is one of the silver ones that's all silver that I'm removing. And, oh, sorry about that. So, yeah, I'm just going to poke that off. And I put that in my junk thing because it'll look like little rivets on another project. Oh, wrong color. It was a 14. Oh, my gosh. Sometimes life, eh? So, let's see if I can pick one up from inside the basket. And it goes there. Okay, that's better. Now, I don't know if I screwed anything up. So, I was working on number 2. All the number 2s are done. I guess we could go and do some 3s if I have 3s. 13, 13. I did the 1s. So I guess the next one is 9. And you'll find this too in your diamond paintings, and I'm sure that you have found it in your diamond paintings. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, this bottom is not as flat as you think. There's a ridge around the edge of it. And with the boats, the little green ones that come with the kits, I thought it would be a good idea to just take it and sort of rub it like that, because they're flat. Not all of them, by the way, not all of them. But the one I was using was flat, so I went like that to push them down. And never thought about it again. And then I had this one, which I bought special. It's kind of a, you know, spend money for no reason anyway, but I do like it. And it's bigger than the boats, and it's well, it's just different, and whether it's better or not, I think it is. It might not be for someone else. The point is, I thought I would do that with this. So I put it on top of the diamond painting, and I went like that, and I took a whole lot of diamonds off because of the ridges on the bottom, which really was very upsetting. Can we still distinguish between, yes. Okay. I just want these. I'm just hoping whoever chose the colors for this, don't make the whales disappear when all the right. Excuse me, I am so sorry about that. Oh my, I should laugh. It's just, I'm one of those people that when I'm horrified, I laugh. I laughed at my grandma's funeral. I miss her so much, and she was the first person in my life that ever died. And I was so torn up that I didn't even think I could make it to the funeral. And I was just, oh gosh, I was in high school because I wore a dress I made in home ec class. It was a midi with a thick black belt around my hips, and it had a poor boy neckline and a long thin pocket on one of the chests, and it was sort of a tweedish bonded material, which we weren't supposed to use because it's very hard to sew, but I did anyway because I wanted to. Anyway, at my grandma's funeral, so I was a teenager, and everyone in the family took it so hard, and I have a lot of cousins in that, and there was one cousin, and her and I were always friends and always hung out together, and we just started laughing, and I don't know why, and it was so embarrassing, and the more embarrassing it was, the more I laughed, and it was just awful. It was absolutely horrific, and at the same time so painful. And like I said, it was the first person in my life that I was close to that died. There was a little boy in grade 3 who had leukemia. I went to Catholic school, and we had to go to his funeral, and I can still see his face when I think about it. And he was a little blonde boy, and his face was so white, and I can see him in the coffin, but that was nothing compared to when my grandma died. And oh, the first time someone dies in your life, it's just so horrible. So horrible. I'm going to do Tim's, I think. I can still see that they're whales. I wish this was lighter though, but it'll be okay. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm so morbid today. Oh man, okay, I'm working on tense. I have to keep reminding myself what number I'm working on, so when I take the beads out, I always leave the one I'm working on open, so if anything happens and I have to like go to the bathroom or something like that, when I come back to it, I won't forget which one I was working on, especially when most of the colors in these coasters are either beige or blue. I mean, the starfishes are always red, but apart from that, it's these beiges and blues, and so easy to forget which blue or which beige you were working on. So, yeah. So I would like to not talk about anything morbid anymore. I'm not going to talk about my health anymore. I'm not going to talk about the heat. Well, I might talk about the heat. That's one thing we Canadians do, right, ladies? We just talk about the heat ad nauseum. So, but you know what? It is, if you're just chatting with someone, of course the weather's going to come out. And, oh my gosh, the weather... I haven't really been outside much, and I I used to love driving so much. I really love driving. I don't even want to drive anymore. I need more of this, and then I need... I thought I poured the wrong color in there for a second, because when I first poured them in, they looked so dark. Oh, driving, yes. Love driving, don't love it anymore. And there's another silver one, and there's another silver one, and there's another silver one. I'm pulling out the faceted silver ones that don't have the color on them. And then I shall put them all into my little empty pill box. And save them for later. There's always something you can do with these, never doubt it. If you have the space, save your craft stuff. Or, you know, everything has a second use, and there's no point in putting something in the garbage if you can use it for something else. So if you have the space, and right now I have the space, but I have to get rid of so much stuff, and it's like my grandma's and my mom's and dishes and things, and I've been very careful, and I've been giving things to charity shops and that. I'm thinking I'm gonna sell some stuff, maybe put it on Marketplace. I've got some really nice stuff from the, prior to the 50s, I guess, because they were always in my house when I was growing up. There are some things I will never, ever get rid of. And that will be up to my son when I pass away. And he said that if I die, he's just going to get a big dumpster and just dump everything in it, and I don't doubt it. But when I'm dead, I'm not really going to worry about it, am I? And that's the way I should think about it is. And I'm getting morbid again, and I'm so sorry. I will try not to do that, but I might just leave this whole conversation, excuse me, this whole conversation, and depending on how long it is, if this video goes on for too long, I am going to take the entire conversation out and just add in some music and speed it way up. If it's under an hour, maybe I won't do that. If it's way over an hour, and these usually take over an hour, then I'll probably cut some part of it out. There's a 14 that I missed the first time around, and this thing doesn't seem to, it's either the wax or it's this is the normal wax that, this is 2 blocks that come with the normal diamond painting kits, but I also have some that I bought, and there's some other diamond painters that I've been watching that use, oh, now let me think, I don't want to get this wrong, Mac tack, you know, the stuff that they use in school, and it's white, and it holds things to the wall like papers without having to nail them. So I think some people use Mac tack, and another one was saying that she used, well, I can't even think of it now, but like not a double-sided tape. Oh, I am really sorry. I will not remember now. It's I am really sorry, but you know what? I just remembered the name of one of the diamond painters that do really beautiful luxury diamond paintings and are really helpful and really, well, they do have tutorial channels. There's no doubt about it. They're just darn good at what they do. And her name is Rachel Ray, and I believe it's R, the last, well, Rachel is the traditional spelling, and then her last name is R-A-E, and I think it was on her channel where she was talking, because she did a thing where she timed how long different waxes take in the pen, like how long you could diamond paint with any certain, any certain, whatever she was using. And I think that it was on her channel where I saw this. I know there's a lookup feature on YouTube, so you can just go to her channel and then and put in what you're looking for, where the magnifying glass symbol is at the top. Or you could just watch her videos, because she is really, really good. She's a nice young lady. I really enjoy her videos. There's another one I watched who does, she does massive canvases, and she does them like cross stitch, or has done some like cross stitch, where you just have a blank canvas with not serial numbers, with symbols on it, and then she orders all her own drills. And I had her name something, and 4 children or 4 kids. Oh, you know what? I'm going to keep thinking about what her name is. And 4 kids, or 4 kids. I wish she'd only used the one name, because the 4 kids is at the back of the name, and it's sort of like it's not even part of the name. But it doesn't say diamond painting in her name. But I mean, if you've watched any diamond painters, I'm sure you've seen her, because she does such beautiful work, and her channel is good. And I'm probably going to need more than that, but we'll see. And this is number 11. And I missed a whole bunch of 10s, so we'll go back to the 10s. And I've also missed a 14 that I can see. So rattling along and waffling and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Sometimes I have to push them back into space, but that's okay, because this glue film that's on it is nice and slick. Okay, so we can do, oh, and I missed some 10s there and there and there. Oh my goodness, I really am not paying attention, am I? I'm working on 11 now. Okay, so we shall see. And 4 kids. Oh, I wish I could think of the name of her channel. I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about, but she is an excellent diamond painter, and she has lots of tips and tricks, and I think she even has a store. I haven't watched her for a while, because like I said, I've been doing the resin. I'm trying to get ready to sell this house and move on with my life. Okay, I'm going to go back to do the 10s, because I missed so many of them. And 4 kids, and 4 kids. Oh, it's going to drive me bananas. And I can see her setup, And I can see her sitting there with her computer, and as she does each one thing when she's working on this cross-stitch type diamond painting, I'm blocking it out so she knows where she is. I can see her face. Ah, dear Lord. I hope that you get a chance to see her, though. She's a very good diamond painter. And like I said, I am not a tutorial channel. All I'm doing is just diamond painting on stuff I can afford, and hopefully entertaining you with my morbid thoughts. And I hope not, and I hope you don't think I'm being too morbid. It's just life, and I'll talk about anything, I swear. When I don't know what to talk about, I'll talk about it anyway. And there's some 10s. I think this is the last of the 10s that I've missed. And then I have 114 that I missed right there. And I'm going to try to, oh, I didn't need 46 of you, I just need one. It's the extra glue on these things that make it hard to pick up just one. And I know there's some diamond painters out there, I don't know how they do it, but they have like the ability to like use a wheel, or they have something like this, but you can fit like multiple drills in it, and holy tomatoes, can they ever diamond paint, and fast. But yeah, I don't want to do it fast. It's not why I started diamond painting. I tried the first because I was watching, I'm going to take a drink, just excuse me for a minute. There's a spider or something in here, I don't care. It was, excuse me, a fruit fly. I'll just put my phone on. No, that's not going to, oh, I'll put this on top. Now we'll use that as a cup cover. I don't know what I was talking about. I'm sure it wasn't interesting. Oh, diamond painting. How I got interested in diamond painting. I was watching this young girl. Her name is Savannah. She's on YouTube. And she had been talking about all these companies that are screwing over people. She was an anti-MLM channel. That's what it was. So I'd been watching her, and I'd seen a few of her videos, and then one day she's talking about, I don't know the name of the company, so I can't say it, but she was talking about this diamond painting company, and all these people had ordered online through this company for diamond paintings, but some of them have gotten the diamond paintings. They were very happy with them, but some of them were not getting them, and it was taking months and months, and excuses like they couldn't get this or they couldn't get that, or some company in China wasn't making the drills, and they were expensive diamond paintings. And I didn't have a clue what a diamond painting was, but she was a nice young girl. I liked to listen to her channel. And then she was saying that some of the art that this company, and I think it was the company was a mother and daughter. I still at this point don't know what diamond painting is, but they had stolen some art, or they were using art without the license of the artist, and some of that art, I mean, it was so beautiful. And in some cases, the artists didn't even know that they had appropriated their art. They were also using some art like Disney, that, you know, Disney, they're crazy for licensing. And it's okay if you're using it for your own personal use. So, like, I could do a Disney diamond painting, and that's no big deal. I'm not the one who's selling it. The person that's selling it has to have a license to sell it. I'm not selling mine. I'm using it for my own personal use. I actually had a client once who would go to this big biker event, and he would sell Harley Davidson t-shirts. But they didn't quite say Harley Davidson, but you knew that they were Harley Davidson. And I guess somebody complained. He was raking in the dough. And I guess somebody didn't like it. And one day the RCMP shows up at the show. And they took all of his goods. Anything that said Harley Davidson on it, they seized. He had to go to court. They took $20,000 in his brand of Harley Davidson merchandise. And I'm all like, since he told me that story, I look at some things I see online and I think, oh, please don't do that, because you're going to get in trouble, because a lot of people, I guess, don't know about licensing and that. And I don't know what the rules are in the States, and there's a lot of Americans on YouTube. But you can't sell other people's art or products. So even if you're only making it look like it's something, you can get in a lot of trouble for that. So enjoy what you're doing and don't try to, like, if you're using licensed products like Disney or Harley Davidson or anybody else, Starbucks is bad apparently, because on Etsy there's a lot of people that I guess Starbucks is a big thing in the States. I've only been there once in my life, and that was like more than 20 years ago, and I ain't going back. Although, having said that, when my son was taking me to Ottawa after my operation to take care of me, it's a long, long, long drive, many, many hours. And so we were on the road, and we stopped at whatever those stations are called, and I think we had water in the car, so that wasn't bad. He got me a sandwich, but it wasn't a sandwich. It's like a tortilla with an egg white and some kind of sauce and some kind of veggie, maybe spinach. Oh my God, it was so good. Now I might have been very hungry, because it was like already we'd been on the road 3 hours by the time we decided to stop. But it was really good. So the fact that I don't go to Starbucks is a me thing. It's not the food is bad thing. I didn't like it because I was drinking only black coffee at the time. And I swear, the guy that was serving me wanted a dissertation on coffee, and all I said, I don't care, I just want a black coffee. Please just give me a black coffee. I am done. Anyway, I don't know where the conversation ended or what went on, but yeah, he is done. I'm going to download this film, see if I have to speed it up. Thank you so much for being here. You don't know how much I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you when I do this one. I'm going to try to do it today. It depends on my strength, because sometimes for no reason at all I'll just get wiped out, like just wiped. But anyway, I'll be back soon. You'll see this soon, I hope. Thank you for being here. Take good care of yourself. Get some free vitamin D outside, but not for too long. Don't get sick going out there. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.